Earthling peeps, I am finally making another video. I have been gone. First to do with the holidays, and I was in Atlanta and made a little video, but I wasn't feeling quite well because I had been suffering from something to do with my sinuses and that. I'm finally feeling much better. And then this past weekend, which is what I'm going to get into first before I go into my talk, I was away on a retreat, a very good and helpful and informative retreat. But before I get into all that, if you can, if you find that you like my videos, if you've started watching them and you're like, hey, I can, relate to a lot of this, please, it would do me a huge favor. Can you please hit like and subscribe, because this helps with the algorithm, as you know, and it will help to get my video my YouTube channel and videos more known on YouTube. So that would be great, right? And when I'm doing that, this also helps to get out the information that I've been channeling with my guides and that I'm supposed to be getting out there. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, before I get into my chat today, I want to explain about where I was this past weekend and how it was just so important for me to be there, how much it helped me, how much it helped me to see things that I needed to focus on with myself. So anyways, oh, and before I do, let me discuss this real quick. I'm going to hold this flyer up. This right here, if you can see it, and it's got, this is Citizens for Disclosure, okay? And what Citizens for Disclosure, through the New Paradigm Institute, it's because we are all demanding, we want full transparency when it comes to our benevolent extraterrestrial beings out there. And unfortunately, we are not getting the full transparency. Many of us are being contacted. Many people are having awakening and having these experiences. And then what happens every time our friends in Congress or whatever, we get the same old stuff, always presented nice with a little bow, the same what do you call it, same little package every time, right? Presented as, oh, we're making progress of what we, it still seems to me, anyways. I know there's whistleblowers out there, and for them, I wish them protection and blessings and that, because it takes a lot of courage to come forward. But unfortunately, those who are in charge want to hold all this information that we should be getting away from us. They don't want us to know. Why? Because they like the power. Okay, they like being in control. They like us to be, basically enslaved humans, right? Living on fear. They want you to fear the ETs. Oh, they're all bad and everything. Well, I don't know. I know there's negative ETs out there for sure. However, I also believe that we're quite protected, because look at it this way. If they really wanted to destroy all of us, they would have done that a long time ago, okay? We're always hearing that over and over and over again. Oh, they're going to come and they're going to do this and this. And then you got the religion chiming in, these old world religions chiming in and saying, oh, they're all demons. They're all demons. I'm sorry, but I don't agree with that. I don't. I know through the contact I've had, and through many other people that have also had contact, that's simply not the case. So anyways, this group right here that I showed you, it's, there's no cost to join or whatever. What they're trying to do is push a movement that we, the people, all of us, are we should be entitled to full transparency, because we know that we are having contact, and for whatever reasons they want certain individuals, I'm not going to say all, but certain individuals are the ones that have the lock and key with it, and they're trying to just make sure that they keep us all locked out, and they want to keep fear. That's why you see all these, they approve of these fear-mongering movies where the aliens are the enemies and they're coming and they're gonna eat your flesh or destroy you or some kind of crap like that. Whatever. So anyways, but it's called Citizens for Disclosure, and I think it's very excellent, very informative group. I know that they, if you want to help with the organization, there's things that you can do to provide help that could actually help with what they're doing. So there's also that. So definitely, if you can, check this out. It's got a little thing there. What do they call it? I can't think of what they call it. But anyways, I'll probably have a picture of this up on my YouTube channel. And, check them out. And it's, like I said, I joined it. It didn't cost me anything. So you don't have to worry about something like that. And just see what it's all about, because it's pretty interesting, I think. Okay, so I went on this retreat this past weekend, and here is the place. I happen to be good friends with the person who has this Nashaway, I hope I'm saying that right, the Nashaway retreat. It was absolutely amazing. I am going to do another video later on it, because I have to be where I can pull up the pictures and stuff that she sent me with all of the information. I know it's got, I think there's going to be, now don't quote me on this because I could be wrong, but I think there might be like different package deals and that, because you get meals and that provided. I mean, any outside meals that you would have to cover your own cost for that, but your meals, there's going to be cabins and that, and they have meditations and detox baths and saunas, healing sauna, all to do with stuff to help you, right? And it's also for people to explore, and it's a way. I loved it, as did many of us, because it was a way for us to all interact with each other. There's no, looking at phones and everything, like to communicate with somebody. You're there in person, and it just felt so wonderful, because everybody felt, they were able to be free and comfortable with their gifts, okay? And we all have these intuitive gifts, but not everybody chooses to embrace them. So that's why some people's gifts are more developed than, say, somebody who's doesn't believe in them, because then if they don't believe in them, then it becomes dormant, and then it's, that's why, maybe they had a bad experience or something, or they've heard too much of stuff on TV, which, by the way, is another way to control you. Oh, no, don't believe in intuitive gifts. They're terrible. That's, evil, or it's, it's a bunch of hogwash. A lot of times what we find is people, why they're afraid, is because they're so afraid that they're going to be, called crazy or something like that, because that's way they use to control you by making you feel, shamed. Remember, I told you the three things is fear, guilt, and shame. Okay? And this is what they use to control us. Now, even I knocked the table and knocked the camera. which brings me now to my next part of this discussion, because I'm trying to fit this all in one video. One of the important things that we did was being able to connect with each other and talk with each other and stuff, besides doing our meditations and CE5s, because that's another part. And CE5s, for those of you who don't know, it's, I think it was originally created through Dr. Greer, where, Dr. Stephen Greer, where you can actually communicate with our benevolent star brothers and sisters out there in the cosmos. And they have a certain protocol, and that there's actually an app that you can get. It's not that much, it's like $10 for the app that you can get on your phone, and it makes certain frequencies and sounds and things like that to help you connect with the beings out there. And a lot of times things will appear in the sky. It's really, really cool. It's an awesome thing, right? So anyways, but we were doing that, and we had our discussions about everybody's experiences, as well as we all got to experiment with using our gifts for one another. So it was really nice, because it's like, you know, some of the people that I met that were using their gifts, they do like Reiki and all that, which will also be part of the Nashaway. I forgot to mention that retreat. They have Reiki, you know, different healers. They have energy room that is also connected with the Nashaway center, but I don't know how that's all going to work later. I think we're going to find out. But anyways, so what we would do is, like me, I do psychometry. So how psychometry works is that I take an object, a personal, usually I find it best when it's like somebody's jewelry or something, to read energy, but it doesn't have to be, you know, it's just metal, you know, and be a good conductor of energy. Now, if you just bought something, say an hour ago at Walmart, and that might be a little harder to read the energy. But I prefer something that has a little history on it. And so what I would do is, say if I wanted to have a Reiki treatment, which I did have when I was there, and I did find that it was beneficial, I exchanged my psychometry, and I would tell them what I picked up from you know, like their past and their present, and what I see going forward for the future. Different things I see, and connecting with their guides, and of course asking, you know, permission, quietly, mentally, telepathically, however you want to say it, asking permission to see if it would be okay to, you know, connect with their guides and any information and stuff they have for them. And for the most part, I was very happy. The people that I did do this with seemed to all be very happy and were pleasantly surprised, because I had hit on a lot of very correct things of their life, and things that either had happened or were currently going on, or, you know, I would connect, and I would bring through family members. Now, I don't know anything about these people, right? They haven't told me like who their uncle, you know, Uncle Tom, or, you know, Aunt Jane, or anything like. They didn't tell me. Like, I would just get a name in my head, and I would say, you know, do you remember this person? Do you, you know, and I also remind, because we're all human, and even though we have these abilities, obviously we're not going to get everything correct. So I would always say, if it resonates with you, great. And if it doesn't, just let it go, you know, and keep what resonates with you, and whatever else, if it doesn't resonate, it's okay. You know, we move on, right? And I want you to let you know that sometimes some people, not here, because it was interesting, because here everybody's, you know, really embraces it, but I just wanted to let you know that sometimes if it's somebody who is really on the fence about, you know, whether or not they actually believe in any of this stuff and that, mentally they won't even realize they're doing it. But a lot of times, because if they're like that, if they're real skeptical, they'll have a block up. So it's not necessarily your fault if you're trying to read them, and you get the information all incorrect. And then sometimes, so there's that. And then, we have days where maybe our intuition just isn't always going to be right there, but it's okay. That is something. Now that gets me to the next part of this video, that I have struggled with for forever. You would think by me doing these videos and that I'm just all confident and everything. I have news for you. I am probably one of the worst when it comes for confidence about my own skills, because even though people would tell me I got this right, I got that right, yada yada yada, if there was this one or two things and I didn't get it right, then I'd start becoming self-conscious, and or I would be apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry. I know this because I had some people that I was able to talk to this weekend, and they were like, one thing, don't apologize, because you just go with whatever resonates for us, and you don't need to be focusing on what doesn't, because you're human. We all are. Nobody's perfect. There's no if you get a psychic out there that says that they're never wrong, you better get away from that psychic, because they're not. I don't know who they're connecting with, but it isn't going to be anything benevolent, because we are all human and we're imperfect. Nobody's perfect, and nobody has 100%. I know there's a lot of people out there that might think that they're never wrong, but guess what? They do have many times where they are wrong, because we are not supposed to be perfect. We are not supposed to have access to unlimited knowledge. What would be the point of coming here for this human experience if you just had all the knowledge? So anyways, getting back to things, it wasn't just about the confidence, but I would have this guilt. And guilt is one of the things that has been conditioned, just like fear, okay, and shame. Guilt is another thing that has been ingrained in us, and I am trying to undo that. I think I'm getting better, but I still have a ways to go, and that's okay, because this is part of my human experience, right? But a lot of times I'll feel guilt about something if I don't get something right, and I'll be apologizing, and the other thing is questioning the messages, because before, a lot of times I put the message out, I'll be like, oh, I'm not sure about this, I'm just going to put it out there. And somebody kindly said to me later on, I think it was this morning, whatever, said, you don't need to keep, you're just supposed to put them, oh, it wasn't this morning, sorry. It was Dr. Melanie Barton. Not sorry, by the way, not sorry. Dr. Melanie Barton said to me, she's the one in charge of the Nashaway retreat, and she said to me, never question the message. You just put it out there. When you feel guided to give that message, that's what you should do. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, so anyway, so this is where I've found some we all have weaknesses, and this was definitely has been mine, with the guilt, okay? But also some very interesting other things had come up. And a woman who I connected with, I had hit on a lot of things from her past, and things that I guess she was currently doing, and that at the time. So she wanted to push the, how do I put it? Push the what? She wanted to push the line a little further and see if I could connect with her dog. And I was like, I don't know. I've only done people. I've never done animals. So she was like, well, I want you to try. And she was like pretty, what could I say? How should I put this? Pretty certain about it, she strongly felt that I could do it. So I was tuning into her dog, and her dog was a rescue dog. And the dog, I don't have permission to say her name because I didn't ask her yet. I'm sure she probably wouldn't mind, but because I haven't asked her yet, I'm not going to put her name out there. So, but I will just say that her dog, when they got him from the second owner, I guess the second owner said that they found the dog by the road and they had to nurse back to health, and that but it had a broken leg, which is really sad, right? And when I tuned in, I got the first owner and their terrible treatment of this dog. And it was funny because the current owner asked me, do you think the dog was hit? We were assuming that the dog got hit by a car, but it was weird because immediately that was not what I got. So I told her exactly what I got. I said, I don't think the dog was hit by a car. I think that these people, these terrible people who had no business owning a pet, pushed the dog off of their vehicle while it was moving, and that's how the dog broke its leg. What happened was when I was tuning into this dog, and this dog was letting me know how, scared it was, and it scared me really bad, and it just let me know this trauma, okay? And they're like a child. That's the feeling I get connecting. Is that they're very much like a child. Well, we see them, a lot of us animal lovers, we see them as like children, right? And that's exactly the feeling I get, connecting like with this dog. And for them, that trauma, it stays like for them, we have time, we see time in linear, okay? But dogs and cats, they don't know time. They don't know like the time of the day or anything like that, So to them, that just happened yesterday. So felt like I was just getting all this message, and I got this vision of these, how do I put it, backwood type, just hateful people. I saw a guy, a skinny, lanky type guy, kind of, just scrawny, and an old truck. It was an old Ford truck. It was kind of, it wasn't the full-size Ford truck, but it was an older pickup truck, a smaller size one. And I saw the Ford. That's how I know it's because it said Ford. It was like a dingy blue color truck, kind of beat up and just old, kind of rusted. And I saw him throw the dog off of the truck, because they just wanted to hurry up and get out of there because they didn't want to get seen, so just toss the dog out. And that's how the dog got hurt. But it was awful because I was picking up, because I was hearing what seemed like was coming from this dog, and how they left him outside, and it was, and I was hearing that it was cold, it was so cold, and that he didn't mean to bark, but he was barking because he wanted in, because he was so cold. He was freezing. That's why I'm cold right now, right? And then I was picking up, I could sense a mild asthma. I was getting a mild asthmatic feeling, the tightening of the bronchial tubes. Now, the dog is like a lot of us with our animals, not extremely over, but was a little overweight, and I felt like what was going on was the weight was pushing on his bronchial tubes. And the person who I talked to said that, and they were fantastic owners, let me tell you that right now. These people love this dog. I have no doubt about that, and I'm so glad, because I really, really just, I could feel that the dog really was so happy with his mommy and daddy, what he feels like his mommy and daddy. That's mommy and daddy, especially, how, he loved his mommy, but, his daddy is who he likes to hang with a lot, right? But he loves both of them very much, and very, very content. But anyways, so it'll be interesting. I said, well, let me know. I'd be curious to find out because she's going to get that checked out to see if the dog does have an asthmatic problem. But she did mention me. She says, well, it is interesting because something that we had been noticing lately was that the dog sometimes, I guess she said in the evening or something, that the dog will suddenly start panting and then goes drink some water. And she said, we just, we thought it was just that he was hot. And I said, no, I get the feeling that there's some mild asthma going on with him. And anyways, there were some other things. And so anyway, she encouraged me to put this out there. She thinks that this could really be helpful for others, especially if I get it right. And it could help me. I am one of those people, this is where I'm talking about the guilt. I have trouble. I give. I like, my family, and I will end up, and I did it to myself this Christmas. I wanted to make sure that everybody was taken care of and there was a personal item that I needed really bad, and I didn't have the money for it because I'm always so busy trying to help everybody else. And so it's the same thing, like when I was told that I should do psychometry and stuff for people and I could ask for a love offering type thing. Even for that, it hasn't been easy for me to, because I was like, I'm not some money person. I'm not, greedy or anything. And if it's supposed to be coming from, the universe and that these talents that we're all given and that, then, I feel I have to give, I'm supposed to give. And, but she says, giving, yes, but there's another thing that you have to remember too, is that you can't give from a dry well. So I was like, yeah, that's true. And here was another interesting point that was brought up. Another thing that I have struggled with is that, oh gosh, now my mind's going blank. That happens. I caught something silver over in the sky, and it just and it was a plane is what it ended up being, but because it was bright, it distracted me, and now I'm trying to remember what it was. I was talking about guilt and another part of that guilt. Oh gosh. I hate that. And it was important. I'll probably have to do it in another video because I honestly can't really remember. The only thing I remember was that she was encouraging me that even I might be able to set something up online where I can help people. But I was a little nervous about that because I'm used to doing psychometry where I feel the energy off of personal items. So that would be a little different if it's something online because I don't have something personal from that person, right? So I don't know. I'm not saying I can't. I'm just saying I don't know. See, I have this confidence issue with certain things, right? I definitely have a confidence issue. I am working on it though. But yeah, so I'm talking about with giving, and I give so much, and I remember what it was. That I also have to respect, because sometimes people will try to give me something, and I'm like, no, I can't take that from you. But you know what that means? If the universe instilled in them to give something back, when you're saying no, you're rejecting that, and then that's an insult to them because this is how they want to give, okay? Or it's something they felt guided that they wanted to do. So when you're doing that, you're not only rejecting them, but you're rejecting the universe and the universe's plans. So, and not just about that, but say with your abilities and that, every time that we put down our abilities, and I am working on this, okay? Like I said, we've got that programming that starts from conditioning from everywhere, from your schools, like your teachers and your even your parents and your churches and everywhere else. It's always that, you're not worthy. You know, you need to have your head down like this. You're, you know, or if you're confident, you're egotistical. And that's always something I've struggled with, you know, is I don't want to, I'm always afraid, I'm always worried. What if I end up having an ego? I'm so worried about that. I literally worry about this constantly. So if you want to know one of my biggest problems, I'm terrified of what if I develop an ego. So all the time, and because of that, it's like I'm afraid to feel good about myself, about things I can do, because I'm like, you know, if I feel good about myself, it might turn into ego, and I don't want that. So there you go. So yes, I'm literally spilling out to you guys right now some of my insecurities with things. Anyways, I better wrap this up, or I'm gonna end. I don't know if I'm gonna end up having to, hopefully I can just upload it straight to YouTube and don't have to go through my husband and all this and that and the other. But what I wanted to say real quickly is that it's very easy with your when you get your gifts, or you're exploring your abilities, say with your and like me, questioning the message. When you're questioning the message, message was a guided gift for you, that they encourage you. That's their gifts to you, right? The universe, the benevolent beings that work through us in that. And when we question it, we're actually rejecting that gift. So that we don't want to do that. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know, and I will have an update video on the Nashaway Center, the Nashaway Retreat Center. I hope I'm naming that right. Dr. Melanie Barton. If not, I'm sure I'll have it straightened for the next video, but I will have more information and pictures and everything. Right now, I just don't have the setup for it, so I couldn't show all the pictures and stuff while I am on my phone, and I can't bring my big old desktop out here, nor do I have a camera on my desktop, so I couldn't do from there. And I don't like to do videos too much from my house or whatever, even if, like, say nobody, well, I don't mind when nobody's around, but right now everybody's around, and I get dog barking and cats going in and out, and I love them dearly, but it makes it really hard. So anyways, I will have another video coming up, and I'll talk more about the Nashaway Retreat Center. It's going to be amazing. The property where she has this is beautiful. There's a forest. You can go on nature, get in touch with nature. I had even suggested, and I believe they're going to include this, it is going to be a silent walking meditation and connecting with nature. So it'll be like a group that's at the Nashaway Retreat Center, where you'll be able to walk and in doing a silent meditation and just connecting with nature. And you know, I think it will help mind, body, and spirit, and who doesn't need that? All right, so that's all for today, and I will get back with you guys later. I send you light, love, peace, joy. You know, I love you all. Okay, I wish nothing but the best for you. And have an amazing, wonderful day, evening, wherever you are out there in the world. And a little light language. I'll end with a little singing light language. I did it, by the way, at the retreat. And my friend Kevin Briggs, who's an amazing channeler, he's connected with the Council of Eight. The Council of Eight, I'll have to talk about that in another video, but he's been guided from the time he was very small, and it is a council that is made up of extraterrestrial beings and that. So, you know, benevolent, of course, that are connected with the Galactic Light Federation or something like that. Anyways, he was teasing me about my singing light language because he had never heard me, and I don't know where it came from, where, you know, the one part I was doing, but this whole like opera sounding thing, and my voice goes way up high. I've never had any opera training. It just sort of happened. It just started happening. That's exactly the way it happened with Aurora. And you know what I think that is? It's because embracing your gifts. You know, the more you reach out to them and embrace your gifts, the more stuff's going to pop up for you that you didn't know, that you maybe didn't have before. And all of a sudden, you know, you're blessed with this incredible gift. And that's an incredible blessing. Think about it. Okay, so here we go. All right, guys, have a beautiful, amazing, wonderful day, evening, wherever you are in the world. Bye. Love you.